So I started this channel with a main goal, info dumping about my interests. You might be thinking, wait, I thought you were doing this to promote your art. You are an illustrator. And yeah, and the main goal of my art is drawing about my interest. So this all comes together in the chaotic mess that this channel is gonna be. Hi, I'm Nautica. You can call me Fen, don't call me Nautica. And if you clicked on this video, that means you're either one of my followers from other social media that came to check my first YouTube video, or that you read the title and like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight. What can I say about Hollow Knight? It's my favorite video game. I'm sure most of you have either played it or at least heard about it. I'm not gonna go full into an in-depth media analysis because there's many people that have already done that and way better than I can possibly do. And I don't wanna spoil the fun for anyone. But for the ones that have no clue what I'm talking about, let me explain to you the basics. In Hollow Knight you play as the Knight, a little insect guy that lives in a silly little insect world that is currently plagued by an infection that is slowly corrupting creatures until they turn into hostile zombie-like monsters. Just a cozy, wholesome game. And in this video I'm gonna redraw the characters from the game as humans, at least some, the most popular ones. I'm sorry, brother Molek, my beloved, it's not your time yet. This introduction was pretty long already, so let's get started. The first thing I did was to brainstorm and do quick sketches of the characters. And by quick sketches I mean full-colored character designs. But they are sketches because they are relatively quick, around 2 hours each. And with an unfinished look, so it's a quick sketch by my standards. I did all these sketches first to add them into a lineup, see what worked, see what didn't, compare the silhouettes, check if all the character designs were cohesive together, and once I was satisfied with them all, I started doing the individual final illustrations. For the sake of keeping this video a bit organized, I'm gonna go one character at a time, starting with we are obviously starting with the main character, who was actually the last one I designed. Not because they were more difficult than the others, it was just because I didn't have such a clear vision for them, unlike I had with some others. So I left them for last, and once I had all the others, it was easier to do a cohesive design. When I started, I knew that I wanted all the characters to be inspired by classic Knight since it's called Hollow Knight. All the characters had to be human, or at least almost human. After I started developing some concepts, I thought it could be cool to do some sort of rewriting with human knights and zombies, because the infection in the game turns the bugs into like zombified version of themselves. So that was an easy direction to go for. The problem with the Knight is that in the game, yeah, they are a little insect, but they are made from the void of the abyss, and they are like a ghost in a cell. I didn't know if I wanted to keep them fully human or some weird void ghost thing, so I just kinda left it up to interpretation. They are wearing a helmet inspired by their mask, and I want them to have a scarf that covers their face and resembles those tentacle void thingies they have in their ghost form. I had to make them a child, but I'm not sure if they read as that because they are fully covered. But I also think they read more like a kid alongside the other characters because of their proportions. And also because of the big dark eyes that you can kinda see through the mask holes. I tested if I wanted to add some charms to the design, mimicking the ones you can equip in the game, but I don't think they read particularly well, so I'm gonna go with the charmless design and let's pretend this is just the base character at the beginning of the game. The only part I actually struggled with was drawing the sage version of the Knight, because no matter what I did, they looked very off. But I think in the end I managed to make it work. Anyways, here's my final design for the Knight, and let's see the next character.
Shaw!
Obviously, I had to do Hornet next, not only because she is one of the most important and beloved characters in the game, but also because I'm trying to manifest Silksong. I had a clear vision for her. First, I thought it would be cool to make her albino, since in the game she's wearing a white mask. And to mimic the dark eyes, I gave her this cool black eyeshadow. I drew her long white hair braided in a way that resembled her original mask. And I also tried to mimic the silk she uses to attack by giving her a very long flowy braid that is definitely inspired by Jinx. She has a lighter armor than all the other characters because the way she battles in the games relies more on speed and agility. You cannot appreciate it that much in the final illustration, but her armor design and the armor of all the other characters have patterns that resemble the ones you can find in the architecture from the game. What you can see is how I referenced her mother, Hera, in her boots. I also gave her a coat of mail with a pattern that resembles a beehive, since according to an unused piece of Hollow Knight lore, it is said that Hornet was the daughter of 3 queens, birthed by Hera, raised by the White Lady, and trained by Vespa. It's important to note that this is not confirmed to be canon anymore, and we'll probably not know until Silksong releases if she was really trained by Vespa. I just thought it was a pretty cool concept and I wanted to reference the 3 queens in her design. I ended up giving her a fancy cape because she is a princess. I want her to look more regal than all the other characters, and that's it. Anyways, release Silksong! But now, seriously, let's not pressure Team Terry more than they already are. If the game is taking so long to release, I'm sure it's because they are putting so much work and effort into making a worthy sequel to an already amazing game, and I don't mind waiting to get a very good final product. And now it's the turn for the titular character, the one, then only, the Hollow. Yeah, I'm not including them in this video. Don't get me wrong, I was planning to include them. Heck, I have the final illustration and it's actually my favorite. The problem is that I went a little bit too hard on that design, a tiny bit. So I'm afraid YouTube is not really gonna like it. Remember when I said that for my version of Human Hollow Knight it was a rewriting with knights versus zombies? Yeah, I zombified them too much. And I also reference a scene from the final battle who might be considered not YouTube friendly. Anyways, I posted it on my Patreon, so if you wanna see it or if you just wanna support my channel, you can go through the link in the description. And I cannot just finish the video after only 2 characters, so I decided to be fully self-indulgent and draw my favorite character. The Dung Defender. What can I say about him? He's the defender of the Dung, and also the best character. That's all that really matters about this character, but let me go through his other lore so I can justify my design choices. So, Orgrim used to be one of the 5 great knights that served the Pale King. Then, as the infection happened, he isolated himself. Thus, he seems to be unaware of the fate the king and the other knights have succumbed to. He is a character who's fallen from grace, but who is extremely noble and still fights for his cause. His armor is rusty and has many dents and scratches. He is an old man way past his prime, but who is still more than capable of fighting. On a different note, I really wanted to do an alternate design of his young self as the White Defender, maybe in a future video. So yeah, basically, an old knight, but I still wanted to make him huge. Then we have the tricky part. I couldn't make him attack by throwing poop, sadly. So I tried mimicking the shape of the dung balls by giving him a big rusty shield. And for attacking, I incorporated into his gauntlets these spikes that resembled his beetle hands in the game. I also incorporated in his helmet his little beetle mandibles. Finally, to mimic his hair down there, I gave him a piece of cloth, probably from his inner shirt, down there. So it mimics the shape and adds some more blue tones for his design. And that's it. Here are all the final designs, and feel free to let me know if you wanna see more of this series and if there's any character that you'd like for me to draw in the future. There's many that I couldn't do for time limits. Actually, I have this sketch for Green finished and was about to do it, but couldn't procrastinate more on this video, so... Thank you to all my patrons. Blanca Leons, Soapy Soapster, Sprocket Rocket, Nat Tip Art, Orsit T, and Austin Graff. Your support means a lot. If you want me to give you a shout out in the credits, want to see more concept art, or if you wanna join my sticker club, you can join the Patreon family. That's all for today. Bye!